Hello students, in this class of ours we are going to see what is law of conservation of momentum, how it is derived. See, another name of the first law of motion is law of inertia, another name of second law of motion is law of momentum, and another name of the third law of motion is law of conservation of momentum. We will precisely see what is the role of third law in the derivation of the formula for law of conservation of momentum, and what is the role of second law in this. So right at outset let me state the conservation of momentum means let us take an example when two bodies collide with each other. See, both the bodies were having some initial momentum, and when they collided for some time and the momentum changed, so law of conservation of momentum says the sum of the momentum of the both the bodies before the collision is equal to sum of the momenta of the both the bodies after the collision. That means during the collision momentum remains conserved. That means momentum does not change if two bodies collide with each other. This is law of conservation of momentum, and we will see, for example, let us say this is body 1, let us say this is body A and this is body B. The mass of this is m1, initial velocity is u1, final velocity is v1, and force with which the body is moving is f1. Similarly, the mass of this be m2, initial velocity be u2, final velocity be v2, and force with which this is moving is, let us say, f2. And time we have to take t, because the time for which both the bodies collide with each other is same. The time for which these bodies collided with each other is same. It is not like t1, t2. And this body A is moving with the force F1, and this body is moving with the force F2. They could be vehicles, and this is the power of engine, say the force applied by engine, this is by another engine. So before they collide with each other, the initial velocity is u1 and u2. Mass, of course, before and after collision will remain same, but after collision the velocity of this becomes v1 from u1, and velocity of this body becomes v2 from u2. And very precisely I want to say with a lot of emphasis on the point that when the momentum initial before collision, body A's momentum is by f1, and the momentum in the body B before collision is because of the force f2, that is engine or whatever it is. Now once the collision is made, so there will be rate of change of momentum. The momentum of both the bodies will change, and if the momentum is changing, definitely we are going to have the rate of change of momentum. For the rate of change of momentum of the body A, F2 force is responsible. See, body A was moving with some initial momentum, and that was undoubtedly because of F1. Body B was also moving with some momentum, and that was undoubtedly because of the F2 force. But once they collide with each other and the change in momentum takes place, then if we want to calculate the rate of change of momentum of body A, that rate of change of momentum body A, then now F2 is responsible for that. And for rate of change of momentum, if you want to calculate for body B, then the F1 is responsible, because once the collision has taken place, the change in momentum of body A is because of this, and change in momentum of B is because of this. So now we will see the statement of the second law goes like this: the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to force applied, and displacement takes place in the direction of force applied. So you see, this is initial momentum m1 u1, initial momentum of body A, this is final momentum of body A, and if you subtract, this is the change in momentum, and if you divide it by time, that is the rate of change of momentum. And I told you very clearly, the momentum of body A before collision was because of F1, but once the collision has taken place, after this rate of change of momentum is undoubtedly because of the force F2. And for similarly, you can see initial momentum of this body is m2 u2, final momentum is m2 v2. If you subtract, this is change in momentum, and if you divide it by the time, that is rate of change of momentum, and undoubtedly this is because of force F1. So I write F1. See, till now whatever we have calculated, this is the role of second law. We have calculated rate of change of momentum. in this body and in this body. This is by second law. But now we will bring third law into play, and that third law of motion states that to every action there is a reaction equal in magnitude. This sign of equality is telling that F1 and F2 are equal. See, when these bodies collided with each other, the action and reaction has to be equal in magnitude. Also, it has to be opposite in direction. So I am putting minus sign with F2. This I could put with F1 also, because their directions, their bodies are colliding with each other, and let us say they are head-on collision, so their directions are opposite. So action and reaction has to be in opposite direction. Otherwise also, so let us say F1 is equal to minus F2, and it is precisely this. The third law has played a role. This is because of third law. We could write so because of third law, and by writing this we will be able to derive this formula, the one we are going to derive. So therefore we say the another name of third law of motion is law of conservation of momentum, or law of conservation of momentum is another name of third law of motion, because it is the because of third law of motion that we are able to derive it. Now for you I will write it like this. See, this is F2. So if I write that is equal to, and I write minus, and then I write F2. So I will write only this. This is F2. F2. So I will write here M1 V1 minus M1 U1 and divided by T. See, this is F2. So I have written F2 and minus sign and equal to, and this side I am supposed to write F1. That undoubtedly was M2 V2 minus M2 U2 divided by T. So I have written F1 is equal to minus F2. Now we see this T, if goes that side of sign of equality, it will get cancelled. So we will write minus M1 V1 minus M1 U1 upon T into T, and here we will write M2 V2 minus M2 U2. Now this T gets cancelled, and with this minus sign, the signs inside the bracket will change. So this will become minus M1 V1 plus M1 U1, and here it is M2 V2 minus M2 U2. Now both the quantities that are showing negative sign, we will transpose them. So it becomes M2 V2 plus M1 V1. This has come this side and become plus, and this will go that side. M1 U1 plus M2 U2. You can see both U1 and U2 are that side. So this is initial momentum of the body A, this is initial momentum of the body B, and their sum, that means together, is equal to final momentum of both the bodies. So this is total momentum before the collision, and this is total momentum of both the bodies after the collision, and they are equal. So we can say it that during collision, the momentum remains conserved, or momentum does not change. Or in other words, you can say the total momentum before the collision is equal to total momentum after the collision. This is what law of conservation of momentum is. Thank you.